Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Israel Connection podcast. I'm Esti Zanati, and I have a guest co-host today, Ben Kreshtool. Hi, Ben.
Morning, Esti.
Morning. And we have a very special guest today. He was voted one of the top 10 comedians in New York City by the Hollywood Reporter.
Oh, you're not going to read a eulogy now, are you? You're going to do
not
a eulogy
Just a short
full
Hi,
eulogy.
Modi.
Absolutely not. He has a special. He has a special on available on YouTube. Know your audience. He has a website, modilive.com, and you can read all about where he's performing. If you don't know who I am by now, by the end of this podcast, you'll know. No need to. We don't need to do the whole eulogy. And we're burying him today, and we're going to say Kaddish Thursday. And
no, Chas v'shalom, no.
Come on,
eulogy. Is that the stuff you want us to put in your eulogy?
But Modi, you took my thing. I wanted to say, and here's Modi.
And here's Modi. That's the name of my podcast. So that's also Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you very much. So good to be with you guys.
So good to have you here. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
So, Modi, when did you realize that you wanted to be a comedian? Was that something that you were dreaming about as a kid, or is it something that just came along the way?
It began last Thursday. We began. I was. It's 30 years already, and I've been talking about that in the show and how I began at the comedy clubs 30 years ago, and also then the Catskills. I caught the late end of the
Catskills.
Yeah, and people are loving it. And I was doing banking, and I was imitating the secretaries. And my friend said, "You've got to do this on stage. You can't just. You've got to do this on stage." So he set me up at a comedy club, and that was how it began. I caught the little bug, and I was doing for a bunch of years comedy and banking, and then I left to do comedy alone. And the comedy club, and then private events, places like Temple Bethel, where I performed, but now we're doing theaters. We just did 3 shows at the Beacon, which was amazing. And we have 7 sold-out shows in Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
All right. The Fort Lauderdale people are probably ready, and I see you have so many shows there coming up.
Yes, thank God.
Yes, and you have one in Baltimore, March 2nd. So
March 2nd, Baltimore is going to be on fire. We haven't been in that area, so it's really prime.
You were here one time in Baltimore before, right?
A long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. So it's been a minute.
It was a different Modi back then. Yes.
Also, probably a different Baltimore back then too.
Probably you're right.
Maybe.
Baltimore became like a little more like people have been moving to Baltimore. No. Becoming a thing.
Yeah.
I think our proximity to Washington makes it kind of like a nice place to live for some people, but then also not for some other people.
We go by our DMs. We feel like, hi, come to Baltimore. We just moved here. So we go by the vibes of our direct messages.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I've been commenting a lot in the past few years. Come to Baltimore. So you're going to be in Baltimore. That's great.
And Ben, you're the ritual director of Beth. What does that even mean these days? That means, okay, here's the ritual. Park outside. Make sure it's head first parking. There's no backing in because it's Shabbos. On Shabbos, we don't back in. And then come in, grab a yarmulke, put it on your head, and don't complain until at least 20 minutes into the service.
30 minutes into the
30. Okay, you guys are very strict.
We're very machmir on this particular issue.
Do you have a good chazan? Do you have a good cantor there?
We have some really lovely cantors here. We have 2 actually.
Okay.
Yes.
So ritual director. It's a little weird of a title these days. I don't really know how to explain it to other people, so I really just tell people that I do what the rabbi tells me to, and that's
a title like ritual director means you do everything. Everything falls under that kind of a title.
There's a little bit of that.
That's like
So, Modi, you've been to Israel recently, right? You had several shows, even way before October 7th. What's the difference in your eyes between the Israeli audience to American audience or European audience?
We were in Israel during October 7th. We had a show. Sukkot. We were at the end of that tour, and then we were in Israel when they bombed when it began, and we had a flight that day to leave to go to do shows in Paris. But we've been back twice to Israel. We did a big show in Jerusalem and a big show at Tel Aviv. The audiences were like, I can't tell you. Like, did you ever have really dry skin and you put moisturizer on and it just sucks it in? That's how they were with the comedy. That's how they were, and they, is the show going to be canceled or not? Is Iran going to attack? And but the show in Tel Aviv, to answer your question, was half Israeli, and half Anglos, expats, people that moved there from England, America, Australia, and it was and I, being born in Israel and living so I kind of fit into a whole bunch of different worlds with them. I was able to connect with them on so many things and drop punchlines in Hebrew, talk about things that, that while we were in Israel that we observed, and it was one of the best shows, if I had to say, of one of the best shows of my career.
Where in Israel are you from?
Huh?
Where in Israel are you from?
Tel Aviv. Yeah.
Wow. I watched some clips of the shows in Israel that you posted online, and I really enjoy listening to you speak in Hebrew.
Yes, it's fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
I have like sometimes I do a show and you can tell there's Israelis in the audience, and I'll address them in Hebrew, and people are like, what's happening? Oh my God. But it's fun.
Yeah,
I always translate right away. I don't want to leave people like we're not in this, but I always translate right away.
Did you ever do like a show like fully just 100% Hebrew?
I did 2 shows a long time ago. It was very hard. I don't know if I would do it now, but I might have to. I don't know. So that
would be great. I think
it'd be fun. Yeah, it'd be a fun thing to do. Yeah,
that would be good. So, so you were there like also before October 7th. You were there like previously, right, in previous years.
Yeah. Israel is a hub of fans, and I would tour many times. I toured with an organization called the Kobe Mandel Foundation. And they would organize the tour, and we sometimes 7 different cities. It was really great. They were just, beautiful theaters, and they were so organized, and it was going for such an amazing foundation or organization. What they do is they help kids who've been who've lost somebody through a terror attack. Their own son, Kobe Mandel, was killed, and it was just but they've really made from something so sad something so amazing, and now we go there with we did the Echala Tarbut, which is the Brachman Center, the orchestra, place in Tel Aviv, and then Jerusalem Theater, which is stunning. It's so beautiful. And it's just I'm looking forward to going back there. We're working on the European Israeli touring now.
Oh, that's great.
Have you been back to Europe since October 7th?
Yes.
Has it been weird?
It's a strange dynamic. So we've done shows in Berlin, Düsseldorf, Vienna, Amsterdam. Crazy that we're in these places. London's a little different, but the other places, they're just in shock that there's someone on stage screaming, "I'm a Jew, I'm proud. Here's this and that. We donate hospitals." They're like, because they're very still quiet. Vienna has 10,000 Jews. Used to have over 250,000 Jews before the war. Yeah. And that's a little tight, little knit community, but they're very quiet. And there's everywhere you go in Vienna, there's little pro-Palestine protests or just car parades, like impromptu ones. So it's kind of scary. And Berlin is like, wow, to do a show in Berlin is so amazing, and do a show in Frankfurt's a beautiful Jewish community there. And they're just so happy to see somebody yelling that they're Jewish. It's great.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of the Jewish communities all around the world need these days. It's really, because you said it's scary, and you see some of these things on the news or whatever, and to have someone like you to proudly express Jewish identity, I think is a really beautiful thing.
Thank you very much. Yeah, but I feel it. You can feel you coming to a community. Even just now, we were in Houston and Austin. Even though we were in theaters, you can tell like it's the community, and it's allies. People bring their friends. I always say, be the friend that brings the friends to the comedy show, and people do it. They get a bunch of tickets and they bring their friends who aren't Jewish. Like, come see this Jewish comedian. And then the ones like, hi, I know you're Jewish. I bought tickets to this comedian. Maybe you should come with me. And they're bringing the Jewish, and like, I never heard of him. Oh my God, it's great. And so it's full on Mashiach energy.
Have you had any?
Like, the jokes to the non-Jews, like what? Because I know a lot of your material is, focused on Jewish, terms, Jewish things. Do you have to explain things to them?
Well, if you saw my last special, Know Your Audience, I almost do the entire show to a non-Jew in the audience. I'm explaining the entire show to him. And now, the show now is a lot less Jewish. Okay, no, let me get that. It's a lot less specific. It's not that it's Sephardic. It's just more. It's more me and my life, my life and observational stuff, and so it's not that Jewish. The first thing I put out there just for the Jews. Here you go. Here's all your material. Enjoy it. This one's a little more Goyish friendly, I'm going to say.
Well, I think you still see the world probably through a Jewish lens. So even if it's not explicitly Jewish, I think Judaism still probably colors a lot of what you do, no?
100%. And people told me like you're the next Jackie Mason, and I always think Jackie Mason, always like you had the view of the world through Jewish eyes. But those eyes have changed. The world now, it's not an older guy going, I know, I don't know, with an accent. It's someone who's Israeli, someone who's American, someone who's in New York, or someone who's gay, it's a bunch of things. Jews now, someone who's proud. It's like we have a country, we have an army, we have, it's this pride.
Yeah. So, Modi, why was it so important to you to go to Israel, particularly now during the war and after October 7th, with everything that's been going on over there?
It's the tour now. It's called Pause for Laughter, and if any place in the world needs that pause, just to stop looking at your phone for a second. The news in Israel is nonstop. It's just, and you're waiting for names, and you're waiting for hostages, and you're waiting for the Knesset to announce whatever they're going to do, and you need that breath, and it really, that's what the comedy show is. It just gives you a breath of just like and Israel needs it a lot. I'm doing a show in California also, in LA. We're there in March 20th, and like after what they're going through with the fires, they're going to need also a moment to just like, And Baltimore, you guys are also,
Baltimore always needs it.
Baltimore is so Jewish pride. There's such Jewish pride there. So you guys are all day long on all of the websites and all of the pages, and Stand With Israel, and then Help Israel, and Jewish News, and you've got to take a minute. You've got to pause for laughter, and if you especially if you see a friend of yours who's fully committed and can't stop talking about it, say, I bought 2 tickets for a comedy show. Come with us. Come with us. You need it. It's good. It'll help you calm down, help you regroup your head, give you, we sing Hatikva at the end of the show. Everybody loves it. And it's just like refocuses the whole room. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Baltimore show.
Yeah. So you said Mashiach energy, and that's like your catchphrase, I guess, or your motto in life. Have Mashiach energy. So who, in your eyes, are like 3 well-known people that you would say have Mashiach energy?
The Lubavitcher Rebbe was the embodiment of Mashiach energy.
Because many people think he's actually the Mashiach.
But I don't know if you ever met him, but if you stood in front of him, you felt it. It was an aura that you can't imagine. And everything he did was helping other people. Everything was with the focus of helping other people, and that creates Mashiach energy. Another person is recently passed away. My Rebbe, my rabbi, my friend, my adoptive father, Rabbi Gross from Kreshtool, who I traveled with him to the gravesite of his great grandfather in Hungary. And he was an embodiment of Mashiach energy. He was always praying for people, raising money for people. It was, a big part of like a boost in my career was from his blessings.
So
You know,
what's
it's a
the
fun fact.
definition for that too?
Huh?
Ben, go ahead.
I was just going to say, is a fun fact that the Mashiach is one of the 4 topics I'm forbidden from speaking with congregants about, from our rabbi, who says I'm not supposed to talk about Mashiach.
No.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Well,
If you knew Ben, you would
I gotta
know
get on
why.
the phone with your rabbi then. I gotta get on the phone with your rabbi.
He's great.
No,
I'm
he's great.
sure. But
If
I
you knew,
think
if you knew Ben,
Mashiach
you would
should
know
be-
why.
I think Mashiach should be in every conversation.
I don't
Haven't you ever
disagree.
been talking about something and all of a sudden it shows up in your life? You're like, I remember Bob. I remember our friend Bob from. Oh, really? Yeah. And all of a sudden, after 20 years, you run into him. Right? That's the same thing. Mashiach has to be in the conversation. And if not Mashiach, at least Mashiach energy. At least Mashiach energy.
So what is like your definition of Mashiach energy?
So I'm saying anything that you have to feel it. It's like Mashiach energy is somebody watching this, buying a few tickets to invite their friends to a comedy show. They just created that Mashiach energy. Harmony where things get along, you know.
Yeah.
Adoshem Echad, God is one, right? It's not somebody up there saying you're good, you're bad. It's oneness. So when people come to Beth El and they're sitting together and they're into whatever the rabbi's saying, and the rabbi should be talking about Mashiach, but that's Mashiach energy. Unity, harmony, a community coming together to laugh. That's Mashiach energy.
Talking my language.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people who are going to be in your Baltimore show on March 2nd, what can they
I hope your
expect?
rabbi's coming,
show?
Ben. I hope the rabbi's coming.
Maybe I'll get him a ticket.
Oh yeah,
Hey, yeah.
Get
Get
the
him a
rabbi.
ticket.
That'd be
Yeah. Yeah.
So what can people expect from the show other than the things we talked about already?
We've been talking. What are the topics? We talk about the past tour that we just did. Really funny stuff. I talk about. Oh my God, I've been talking about colonoscopies, and I had no idea how much Jews love colonoscopies. They light up. Oh my God, I've never in my life.
We also love to talk about colonoscopies.
Yeah, I talk about. I do some comparison between Jewish religion and other religions, but again, commonality, fun, not like positive. Even about Muslims, I talk about how, the final goal for everybody at the end is a messianic era to live in. We're looking for Mashiach. Gentiles want Jesus to come back, and the Muslims also have a messianic figure that they're looking for, whose name, by the way, is Modi. Mahdi. Mahdi. When you Google Muslim messianic figure, Mahdi, however
Mahdi,
you say
probably, yeah.
Yeah, which is how they pronounce my name in Israel.
Mahdi. Yeah.
I talk about Jewish audiences, not so much Jewish things. So
Okay.
so that's a fun part of it. I recap the Catskills. It's such a fun show. I'm enjoying it so much, and it keeps developing. Every city we go to, like another tweak comes in, and it's wonderful.
That's good. You how do you say it? Like it matches the audience you're performing for. It's
100%.
Yeah.
My main, besides Mashiach energy, my first motto was know your audience.
Yeah.
Da lifnei mi ata omed. Know in front of who you stand.
Right.
That's.
So speaking of audience, like what's the difference between American audience to Israeli audience? Because obviously, totally different.
The commonality we have on topics.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm a week in Israel before my show, I pick up all the nuances. That's it. Obviously, if I were to do a show in Baltimore and live there a week before,
Mm-hmm.
I know the restaurants, I know where everybody works out at, I know where everybody goes to synagogue. You have the commonality of that. Israel's a little more because it's broadcasted to the entire Jewish community.
Right, but the reactions from the crowd, like in Israeli versus European or American, like
every crowd is different. Listen, when you're the bigger the show, the easier it is. The bigger the audience, the easier it is. We just did, we did a Chalat Tarbut, and we did the the Beacon show, where it's 3,000 people. So you're flooded with this laughter, and it keeps you on such a, high. And then you have the Comedy Cellar, where you're in front of 110 people in a basement, doing only 15 minutes with other comics on the show. It's a different energy completely. You do a show in a theater where they came to see me, there's a little more leeway I have. If something like Bethel calls and hires me, and we do that, and the show is, again, know your audience. You're standing in front of the Sefer Torah, you're sometimes you're performing in the shul, and what's really like, I'll tell you an amazing what Mashiach energy is. We've done these shows in Reform and conservative synagogues where it's almost like the Vatican, but they never get more than 200 or 300 people, but the place seats 1,200, and we pack it in. So a Wednesday night, the rabbi walks in and there's 1,200 congregants, and he's like, huh? And that's like, in the room, you feel it. I feel like Joel Osteen in that situation. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite funny part of the Bible? Because I find like a lot of
So my favorite, of course, is when they cross the Dead Sea, and they, Moses just got them out of Egypt, out of slavery. They crossed the Dead Sea. They saw this miracle of an ocean opening and gobbling up all their enemies, and they turned to him and said, food, what about food? And what, you brought us here to die. You brought us right here to die. We could have died in Egypt. But like, they were looking for a buffet. They were llooking for like, where are we going to eat? That's my favorite. Every time I read that, every time I'm in shul and they read that, I crack up.
Yeah.
I don't know why I crack up.
Because it's funny.
What's yours? What's your favorite?
My favorite, there's a piece of text from the book of Prophets. And the prophet Elisha is upset because some kids are making fun of him because he's bald. So he cries out to God and says, like, what are you going to do about this? And God sends a bear, and the bear eats the children. And I just find that very funny.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many. It's
so many.
And it's also how you can interpret. It's also everything could be funny. Everything could be funny. Everything, you got to find the humor in everything, politely, respectfully. It's still the Torah, and but there's definitely, the Rashis. Some of the Rashis are so funny. So the way he just like, so this really means this and that. So don't go by that. It really means this and this, and it's like, it's so great.
Is there anything like that's ever like a line for you that you would never like talk about, or do you think everything is fair game?
Again, it's know your audience. Everything is fair game as long as it's done respectfully and with human dignity, and everything is. And again, I'm not looking to divide, especially now with this election, and the audience that I have is really down the middle divided. It's crazy. And you work for, there's no need to. You just, what brings them in together. That's it. That's what brings them in together, and let's laugh. Yeah.
Yeah, it's important. I think like this past year or so, even before, but now specifically, like we need laughter. We need to be brought together in laughter, because I think laughter and music are the two things that speak to everybody's souls, and we need that.
Music definitely, music is so important in my life. Oh my God, if you see what I listen to on the treadmill, it's crazy. It's like all Mordechai Ben David, and then some rave, and then some techno, but it puts you in the mode.
It sounds like a good workout.
It's a great workout. Yeah.
And you sing also. You have a great voice, by the way.
Singing is when I sing, and my voice and the harmony, everything is in tone. It is a high that's almost bigger than comedy.
Yeah, I feel like
it's amazing. I can't imagine, like, I could never do it as that's like my thing, because your voice, when you hear, I can't, how am I going to know where my voice is going to be this upcoming Saturday afternoon? You don't know.
Right.
Comedy, you'll get through it. They turn the microphone up a little bit. You don't have to
always give you a nice bottle of water on the stool.
Yeah, it's a nice bottle of water. You're in the middle of Yom Kippur, in the middle of Musaf, where you're dehydrated, you're dying. And you have to pound through this. Very
You
hard.
see the cantors like pushing through. It's even
Yeah.
sometimes I've seen when they're sick and their voice breaks a little bit, but they still push through. It's
Yeah, push through.
incredible.
You have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really
I
have
think you and Ben should, if you had a like an opportunity to do a cantorial thing together, that would be great. I think.
Cantor King should go.
No, I think
Amsterdam
your voice and Modi's voice would be great together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
soon by us.
Tumbas. Yeah, so again, I'm looking forward to coming to see you and all the Baltimore people. And again, be the friends that bring the friends. And that's it. And the podcast I have is And Here's Modi. And of course, everything's available on modilive.com.
Yes. And let us finish with a little segment that I do at the end of every episode.
Sure.
Called My Favorite Israeli Thing. So what is your favorite Israeli place?
This is such an easy one.
Yeah.
This is such an easy one. And you're not even going to see where it's coming from. I love the easiness and the availability of Krembo in Israel.
Oh.
Those little things, just to be able to be walking somewhere and you pass by the little kiosk and you just walk in and you're like, no one's oh, Krembo is like man. It literally came from the heavens.
I
It's
think
the
it might
most
have been
delicious
that. I
thing
think
in
it
the
was.
world. And just to be someplace where you can access it wherever you, I mean, you can access it in America too. You have to go to the kosher supermarket. You have to go to the neighborhood where everything's kosher and get it. But just to be leaving, you know, I walked out of the gym on the way to, we were to Sheridan. There was a gym down the block and we were there. And I'm just like coming home and I'm like, oh, wow, do I deserve this? And right, Campbell, right down my throat. So that's it.
All right. What is your favorite Israeli song?
Currently, it's obviously Am Yisrael Chai by Eyal Golan. And I play that after Hatikva and everybody's moved. I think it's like almost the next, it's almost the next, the next national anthem.
Yeah, right now.
The next, it's more than a tikva. It's really just, you know, yeah.
Yeah. What is your favorite memory from Israel?
I mean, that's an easy one too. That last show we just did in Israel, I literally couldn't sleep for 3 days after we did the Brocken Center. We literally were on such a high. It was unbelievable.
Did you have a favorite like fan encounter in Israel?
A what?
A fan encounter, like meeting a fan after the show.
Oh, not after the show, but in
like,
so when you walk in television,
probably in the streets.
In the streets, people just roll around like, hello, Modi, lo, oh, what? It's so like from the window in the car, like they're on the phone. 1 minute, Modi, yeah, lo, Shabbat Shalom. It's so they're like in America, it's more like, hi, you're Modi, right? Over there, they just yell it out. Yeah.
Yeah, in Israel, they don't care. They just go to you.
They love it.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
And that's
way
like about Israel.
They introduce their kid. Here, take a picture with my kid.
Yes, take the pictures. Oh, the great.
Yeah. And lastly, what is your favorite Hebrew word or expression?
My favorite Hebrew word or expression. What do I say the most? I'm gonna say no.
No. Yeah, I say that to my daughter a lot.
It's for everything. It's like
no,
let's go. Or like no, I made you a dinner. Look at it. No. It's there's so much you can do with no. I literally text all the time, like when I know someone's going, like they had a doctor's appointment together. I'm like, no, like it's like what's happening? Bring me up to speed.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
No.
That's my.
Yeah, I tell my daughter every morning, no, yalla.
No, yalla. Yeah. No, yalla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Modi, thank you so much for being here. And guys, don't forget to check out Modi at the Lyric Theater March 2nd. You can get your tickets at modilive.com. And thank you. It's been great talking to you today.
You too. Thank you very much. My love to all the Bethel, especially the rabbi.
Yeah, we'll have you over one day.
I'd love to meet him. Yeah.
Yes. All right.
All the best. Bye, guys.
Until next time, guys. Thanks for listening.